Greetings once again. This is Stan, and this is for you, and this is a do-over for me. Please forgive me, but in the technical world in which I'm somewhat adept, but certainly just an enhanced amateur, we produced a program entitled How to Get People to Give You Money, the 5 Sharks. And we want to teach you about the 5 kinds of investors who might be helpful to you. Well, we did that program. We felt very good about it. We put it all together and we put it on YouTube and sent it out. And to our chagrin, we found that the last 5 minutes were gone. And where they went, we have no idea. We've looked for them. YouTube looked for them. It's gone. So this is a do-over. What I'd like to do is just briefly, and we'll even shorten it a bit in the do-over, go through what we have learned that might be helpful for you as an entrepreneur, and particularly as a Christian entrepreneur, in finding those people, those founders, those funders, those investors, perhaps those venture capitalists who might be willing to help us as we build our Starship Enterprise and kind of go where we've never gone before, to use that old Star Trek metaphor. Here's the deal. We oftentimes say it's one of our themes. How do you get people to give you money? Well, that's what life and business is all about. The pastor who asks the congregation, please give me money. The store clerk says, if I give you this, will you give me money? And just the other day, a wonderful woman showed me that I could save a lot of money if I would buy my car insurance from her. Well, she was right, but I still had to give her a lot of money. That's what business and life is all about. Every good mission has to have a margin. And that means somebody has to say, I value what you do. And they do something they normally don't want to do, and that is to take their hard-earned money and give it to you. And if we do it ethically and do it trustworthily with good value, that again is how the world works well, particularly in the marketplace. And we want to do well in the marketplace. We want to serve well. As we say, what we really want to do is, as a Christian entrepreneur, we want God's special wisdom so that we can have greater insight, so that we can have greater strength and have direction in our lives, so we can build a life and a business that does things that really matter and makes a difference in the world and helps us through God's Spirit and the work we do to become more fully alive. Well, okay, we're out there and we're going to survey that world of people who might be able to help us. Investors. And what I've discovered is that there are really 5 investor types. Now, this is kind of my own idea. It's my own reflection. And I'll give it to you for what it's worth. But perhaps it might be helpful. First of all, I've discovered there are the traditional venture capitalists who are, what I say, just that. They're capitalist investors. And to some people, they don't particularly like that. Obviously, there has been a great deal of academic and some political discussion that perhaps capitalism that just makes money with money and manipulates money, that may not be a terribly ethical way to do creative work in the world. But there's capitalist investors, and what they do, very simply, they say, I've got some money, either from somebody else who I'm using to manage for it, or I have my own, and I'm going to try and put it into an enterprise, and I want to make more money. That's the deal. Well, of course, investing is about making more money with your money. But these people, that's basically, except for perhaps some ethical and legal questions, that's what they do. They have to. They believe that's a fiduciary responsibility. They're going to ask the question, can I make X amount? Can I make X times? This is what I have to have. And if your enterprise fits that, perhaps I'm in. How can I make money? These are capitalist investors. The second group of investors are what I call innovative investors. Now, these are people who are a little bit different because what they want to do is they know that a lot of companies are out there just doing the same thing, doing it a little differently, marketing themselves a little more effectively, and they'll have better service and they'll make more money. But these people want to invest in something that's new, kind of a new idea. They certainly are hoping that they don't lose money. They want to make money, but they look at something and say, this is something new that I can feel proud of, that I can feel a kind of a little founding principle, and it gives me a sense that I'm not just the same old kind of investor. I am an innovator. Even more than a disruptor, I'm an innovator. And if you have an idea which they view as somewhat innovative, they are more attracted to being innovators. So we got the capitalist investor, we got the innovative investor. Now, the third type I found, and this is somebody who I might be seeking right now for our radio company. This is a player investor. Now, this person says, okay, I've got some money or resources to invest, and I've also got some time, and you know what? I'm interested. I don't want to just be an investor. I want to be a player. I want to be a participant. I want to have a piece not only of the financial action, but of the management and leadership action. Now, these people oftentimes, for instance, if we have somebody who is really fascinated by radio, says, I want to participate. I'm also an employer. I'm working. And if you notice in the Shark Tank, oftentimes the person will ask the shark to be a part of the company, to be a partner in the company, as well as an investor in the company. Help us make it happen. And many times those sharks, they feel good about that. They would be interested. Maybe they're a little bit bored, or that fascinates them. And so they want to be a player investor. Now that can get complicated, but it's, their money and they're part owners, and they want to play. And it fits their unique interests and abilities. So we have the capitalist investor. Then we have what? We have the innovative investor. And then the player investor. Then there is what we call, at least what I call, the entrepreneurial investor. Entrepreneurial people are a rare breed of people. Not everybody's cut out to be. Now, we say that more people are cut out to be than they think they are, and whether you are cut out to be an investor, you may to be an entrepreneur, you may have to learn how to at least have entrepreneurial skills, because the economy is moving away from the traditional employer-employee relationship, and more people are going to have to be independent contractors, independent players. They're going to have to be more entrepreneurial in their way of thinking and living. The so-called gig economy, where you're out there making it happen yourself, is going and growing. And through the ICE3, ICE3, the Internet Connected Entrepreneurial Experience Economy, which is the one we live in now, will more and more ask people to create a enterprise, all of their own, in which they seek to be not only the participant, the employer, the employee, they make it happen. Now, there are investors who just particularly locate certain entrepreneurs and they say, I like you. You've got some good ideas. I was talking to a gentleman the other day and he just simply said, I like a lot of your ideas. Now, he didn't make any commitment, didn't say he wanted to, but I do know that I was glad that he felt some of the things that I was talking about that were somewhat original to me, at least I'd like to believe they were. He was interested in what those ideas might be like. And what happens is there are people who like entrepreneurs. They like their spirit and their energy and their personality, and they know that a number of the things they do don't work, but a number of the things they do do work. In fact, one of my good friends who's an entrepreneur, he simply says, I've started lots of businesses. Most of them have failed. However, a number of them have not failed and they've done extremely well, and so has he. And so have the people who've played and participated with him. But a number of them just didn't go anywhere. That happens. But there are people who like to say, I like to be a part of that person and the energy and the things they bring. Even the Shark Tank sometimes, and I noticed particularly one of the women, she made the point. She said, you know, I'm not really into that project, and I'm not terribly interested in that, but I like you. I like your energy, and I want to help you. And did you see the difference? Obviously, she doesn't want to lose money, but she wanted to help. There are investors who simply have the resources and the personality and the energy, and they want to invest in the entrepreneurial people so they can encourage entrepreneurs, because the economy, the world needs entrepreneurs, risk-taking, people who fall down flat and get back up again and try again. They want to encourage people who are like that to keep doing that. So they're entrepreneurial investors. Okay, we got the four. Okay, there's the capitalist investor, there's the innovative investor, there's the player investor, there's the entrepreneurial investor. The fifth player. This is the God at work investor. This is the man or woman of God's special spirit and wisdom that looks at the various things out there and they say, you know, I think God's in that. I know the people. I can see what they're trying to do. It may be a nonprofit. It may be a profit. It may be a combination of both, as many are, including our own Christian Entrepreneur Network. And they say, that's God stuff. That's good stuff. Good stuff and God stuff. And I am wanting to be a part of that. Just like everything else, it may work out well. It may not work out so well at all. It may be fantastically creative and successful. It may not be. But I'm in because I believe that that's God at work, and I want to work along with Him. And I hope that there are a number of growing people who, as they go into the entrepreneurial economy, will more and more say, I want to work as a God at work investor. And I certainly want to find those wonderful men, women, particularly young men and women, and sometimes even older men and women who are encore entrepreneurs. They're doing it later in life as a start over. They want to be a part of what they do as a God at work investor. Well, there you go. That's my do-over, and I hope this has been helpful to you. Once again, my name is Stan Houston, and this is the Christian Entrepreneur Network, and I would love to hear from you. Stan Houston. Okay, Stan at stanhouston.com. Stan at stanhouston.com. Love to hear from you. And let's see perhaps if we can begin to build a network of entrepreneurs who want to be Jesus-led and investors who want to use their resources, time, and energy to help and support one another as Christian entrepreneurs. Thank you for your time. All the best and blessings to you, and may it go well for you. Bye for now.